What did you say to me, Ariana? What did you... Okay, Ariana.
He did originally said he was from New Jersey, and we stopped it at that until he took out the Star of David from his shirt and said, I'm Israeli, I'm from Israel, and that is what got me to say Free Palestine. Absolutely, I wasn't going to back down on Free Palestine when he put the camera in my face. That's just not somebody I am.
Here is Rami Feinstein. He's a famous singer. He's a proud Zionist.
I was just ordering food for my family. This woman looks at me and she says, where are you from? I said, I'm from Israel. And then she says, Free Palestine. And I said, what does that have to do with anything? We came here to order food. But she insisted, Free Palestine.
My whole point of saying Free Palestine was not to spread hate, because the reason I was fired was because I discriminated against him and I had said hate speech. That is not what I wanted to give out.
So Arianna Hamilton, she was a former Burger King employee who was fired from Burger King for discrimination for saying Free Palestine, and she's since raised nearly $250,000. I believe that number is at $250,000 now, and the great thing is that that number is still going up. I love to see it. But so we're extremely proud of her and we're happy for her. Let's get her to 1 million. We've seen some racist white ladies say the N-word and raise over $1 million by idiot ass right wingers. So let's try to get Ariana to $1 million. Let's try our best. So a lot pisses me off about this video, not about Ariana, of course. The guy Rami Feinstein, who made a video in the first place, posting it, trying to get her in trouble. So first of all, that he sucks. That nigga cannot sing. He's a trash ass Israeli singer. That guy's he's ass. That's first of all. Second, being a proud Zionist is absolutely disgusting. Imagine saying you're a proud Zionist. That's like saying I'm a proud KKK member. I'm a proud Nazi. And that's something to be proud of? That pisses me off. He's saying that he's just trying to go there just to eat. A Zionist shouldn't be allowed in polite society. They're committing war crimes. They're genociding the Palestinians. The Zionists, they're no different than what the KKK was. They're no different than the South pre-Civil War. They're the exact same. They're the exact same people. They're white supremacists. They're Jewish supremacists who believe they should be able, that Palestinians aren't human and they should slaughter who they view as less than humans, less than animals. That's what Zionism is. But Israel's goal is to be able to expand from all of Gaza into Egypt, into Lebanon, and pretty much the entire Middle East. That's what their goal is. That sounds a lot like Manifest Destiny. That's a lot like Manifest Destiny, because it's the exact same project as what Manifest Destiny was. Expand the entire United States while wiping out all of the natives. They're doing the exact same thing that we did to the Native American, the Trail of Tears, completely destroying the native population till there's like 6 natives left. It's the exact same thing. So I want people to understand that this history did not begin with October 7th. That's complete BS. And I want to play some videos of Israeli Jews talking about how they viewed Palestinians prior to October 7th, because this whole thing pissed me off about them saying, oh, October 7th is what justifies doing all of this genocide, this ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians. No. Watch what they were saying prior to October 7th. This video is from 2016. I believe the person doing the interview was Abby Martin. So let me play this video for you.
If you're not Islam, they will kill you.
A lot of Americans don't really understand what Israel's like. We hear a lot of things in the news. A lot of people are sympathizing with the Palestinian plight. Can you talk about what it's like to kind of live in this situation?
First of all, it's very hard. I'm in an organization. It's called Lahava. It's against the Jews shouldn't marry Arabs.
Did you say
What does that sound like to you? Doesn't that sound like the KKK? Doesn't it sound like the United States pre-civil rights? when they say black people shouldn't marry white people? Doesn't that sound the same to you? And this is a kid saying this. It's not just the Israeli government who supports the Zionist project. It's the people as well. The people support this. There's polls that show 80 to 95% of Israeli Jews support what's going on in Palestine. They support completely wiping out every single person in Gaza off the map. And they're somehow the victims. Let's continue this.
The organization did what again?
The organization is, the thing of it is that Jews shouldn't marry Arabs.
Shouldn't marry Arabs. Why do you feel strongly about that?
Because Jews is a special nation that God gave it to the Jews, and we don't want Jews to get mixed up together with a different nation.
That is exactly like Manifest Destiny. The European whites who came over to the United States, they believe that they were special, chosen by God to conquer all of America from sea to shining sea, while pushing all the natives out and completely decimating their population. It's the exact same thing. That's what I'm trying to get through to you. It's not some I'm completely blanking on my thought, but this is what the Zionist project is. This is exactly what Zionism is. It's a colonial, settler, ethnic, apartheid ethno-state that wants to wipe out the native population to expand their own. That's what that is. So, I'm going to continue. I'm going to play another video from this. And mind you, this is 2016. This is from 2016. The big event happened October 7th in 2023. This is from 2016. This is how I talk, and it gets a lot worse. So check out this video.
Different nation.
I think Israelis have to take over, and they have to kick them away. It will be much better not to kill them, just to go back to Arab countries.
You can't deal with these people.
That's called ethnic cleansing, by the way. That's what it's called. Get rid of them from the area, push them to somewhere else, ethnic cleansing. That's exactly what that is. Let's continue, because it gets a lot worse.
There's no need to try. There's no need to talk to them. What we can do is when they do enough harm, we retaliate. That's war, and that's the situation that any Jew who lives in Israel has to deal with.
If you look at any chart from the both-sided violence, it's about prior to Israel committing this current iteration of the genocide, because they've done many. Prior to them committing this current iteration of the genocide, if you looked at the charts prior to October 7th, it's the casualties is pretty much like 15 or 20 to 1. So you're really trying to say that Israel is not the problem? The creation of Zionism was literally to slaughter the Palestinians so Israel can have their land. Like literally, the first prime minister of Israel ever, David Ben-Gurion, that was his goal. It was simply an expansionist project. I'm not going to say too much of it now, because I'm going to do a deeper dive of the history of Zionism, just how dark it is. And subscribe if you want to see that, because it's coming relatively soon. But let's continue, because it gets a lot worse. And these, mind you, these are the citizens. This is not the government speaking.
על מה?
גם ככה ערבים, מקסימום.
אוקיי, בסדר בעברית? פשוט מאוד, צריך להיכנס לשטחים וכל מחבל שעושה פיגוע צריך להרוג אותו, צריך להרוג את המחבלים, ואז הם יפחדו ולא יעשו לנו בעיות והכל יהיה בסדר. הם יהיו בכפרים שלהם, אנחנו נחיה פה, לא צריך להיות ביחד והכל בסדר.
I think also that every Arab...
Okay, so just so you know, they view all Palestinians, all Muslims as terrorists. So when you're saying all terrorists, He's talking about all Muslims.
That doing a terrorism attack, we have to kill him, and not because he's an Arab, because he's a terrorist. I think you should also kick out the family, because it all begins with chinuch. How you say
education.
Whatever they.
What does that sound like? We have to take out their families. We have to take out their families. That sounds exactly like Donald Trump.
But we're fighting a very politically correct war.
Yeah. Well, we see that happening in
the other thing is with the terrorists, you have to take out their families. When you get these terrorists, you have to take out their families. They care about their lives. Don't kid yourself. But they say they don't care about their lives. You have to take out their families.
Israel is MAGA. There's no differentiation between the two, Israel and MAGA. Israel is MAGA. In fact, Donald Trump has his highest support amongst Israeli, much higher than American people and much higher than any nation on earth. Israel supports Donald Trump more than any nation on earth because Israel is MAGA. When people say something like liberal Zionism, what the hell is liberal Zionism? And when I say liberal, I mean the classical sense of liberal, meaning freedom. Zionism is an apartheid ethno-state. What? That's an oxymoron, saying liberal and Zionism. That's like saying a liberal in terms of freedom, MAGA. That makes no damn sense. So someone like Brad Lander, who I generally like, I worked on Brad Lander's first ever campaign before he was elected to, I forget which position, which councilman position. I worked on his campaign. And he's genuinely a nice person. But saying something like, I'm a liberal Zionist, what the hell is a liberal Zionist? That doesn't make sense.
You call yourself a liberal Zionist. What is a liberal Zionist?
I believe in the vision of a Jewish and democratic Israel. I care about the place, but I don't think it's possible for it to be democratic while it's occupying the West Bank and Gaza. And I don't think that Israel's conduct in Gaza, which I do consider a genocide, is consistent with Jewish values. So to me, it's like you stand up and you call it as you see it. I don't want to keep sending U.S. military aid to Israel while it's violating international law and Palestinian human rights. But I want it to actually honor international law and Palestinian human rights so it can be the Jewish and democratic Israel that I grew up believing in.
I think he possibly has good intention, but he's just ignorant to what Zionism is. Zionists do not believe in equal rights for Jews and Palestinians. In fact, Israel just passed a law where Palestinians can face the death penalty, but Israelis cannot. What's equal about that? What's equal about that? That's the exact same thing, in fact, that the Nazis did to Jewish people during World War II. Where Germans couldn't be executed, but the Jewish people could. So again, Israel today, they're no different than the Nazis. They're no different than the KKK. They're no different than white supremacists. They're no different than MAGA. It's all one. It's the same exact thing. But I'm gonna continue because I'm telling you, this gets worse.
Teach the kids does, it's families.
I'm think that we need to... איך אומרים לה איש בערבית? כן, תגידי לי את המילה הזאת. נו, תגידי לי מילים, אני לא...
So you're saying we need to kick out the Arabs? Ethnic cleansing. And it gets worse from this lady in particular.
אני לא יודעת לתרגם. I don't know how to translate really well.
I think we should give them a country. If you're doing any problem, you just go in there to give them a country, and then it's going to be a war between countries, If they're going to throw rockets, we're going to throw one big one and done.
Yeah, listen to this one. This is absolutely disgusting. Let's rewind it a little bit. Absolutely disgusting what this guy says.
I don't think there's any answer to it. Really? There's only one way, I would carpet bomb them.
You would carpet bomb them?
It's the only way you could deal with it. Or try to stop them a different way. It never worked.
You mean all Arabs or Gaza or?
I believe that they, I hope to believe they're not, but I do think they are, because I don't trust them. You can't trust them, and that's the only way I believe that. The only way is just to stop it completely.
So he's talking about kill every man, woman, and child. Carpet bomb all of them. Get rid of them. And something that pisses me off when I see black people who support the Zionist project, because what Zionists are doing, it's no different than what white supremacists did to black people pre-civil rights era, during slavery. I'm damn sure not going to support Zionism. You see this behind me? You see that behind me? That is a symbol of the very last black person being freed from slavery in Galveston, Texas. And you think I'm gonna support Zionism? And there's black people, there's black congressmen who are black people in high places of power in the media support Zionism. That's disgusting. So that tells me that they will sell out their family members just for a couple bucks. These people are absolutely disgusting, and it's probably because I am a black man. I especially get pissed off seeing black people support Zionism, because it's the exact same thing that the white supremacists did to black people, and you're supporting the same shit. It's disgusting. Let's continue, because what this lady says right here is disgusting.
I think that we're miserable. The Arabs make a piguim, and we need to kill the Arabs.
She said we need to kill the Arabs. Again, I want to stress this. It's not just the government. It's not just the government. It's the average Israeli citizen. There's no such thing as a left Israeli citizen. They're all right-wing maniacs. Even, like I said, I'm gonna do a video later. Even the liberal, the left Israeli, they still believe in having an apartheid state where you treat Arabs as second-class citizens. That's the left wing in Israel, and they're supposed to be, and we're supposed to say they should exist. No, there should not be an apartheid ethno state that exists. No, maybe the state of Israel can exist where there's equal rights, like how Zoran mentions. But a purely Jewish state, a purely ethno state, a purely apartheid state absolutely should not exist. That's complete foolishness. Like, what are we talking about here? That's like saying a state, well, a bunch of right-wingers say shit like that. A state of just white nationalists should exist. That's what that's saying. Let's finish this video.
No.
Okay.
We'll talk about this later.
All right, cool. Well,
there is also Jewish civilians that hate Arabs. Yeah, I'm not saying, but we have also people that like the Arabs and everything, like Smolanim.
I think another thing that the Jews should have rights to hate them. I think we have the right to hate them. I don't see a reason why not. I wouldn't trust any of them.
Okay, so like I said, the furthest left that the Israeli Jews go is there should be an apartheid state with no genocide, but an apartheid state where they're second-class citizens. That's the furthest left it goes in Israel. And like I said, the polls show that anywhere between 85 to 90%. 90+% of Israeli Jews support completely wiping Gazans off the map. So people always say that we should condemn Hamas, condemn Hamas, condemn Hamas. I'm not condemning Hamas. I'm condemning Israel, because Hamas would not exist if not for the Israel apartheid genocide state. It wouldn't. It's like saying, oh, we should condemn Nat Turner for the slave rebellions. It's the exact same thing. And I'm not condemning Nat Turner. I condemn the institutions, the people, the Zionists that created Hamas. Hamas is literally a fighting force against Israel. They exist, they were created, they were born out of anger because Israelis were slaughtering, and Zionists, I should say, they were slaughtering these people's parents, their kids, their grandmothers, their moms, their pets. That's why Hamas exists. And that's why I'm not condemning them. In the past, people were saying that we should condemn Nat Turner, the slave rebellions. The people that rebelled against slavery. They were all demonized because of standing up to an oppressive system. All of them. And the thing that pissed me off, we continue to repeat the same cycle. We did it before with Nat Turner. And now, 200 plus years later, we're doing the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Like, do we not learn? So, maybe in 50, 100 years from now, everyone's going to see that Israel is the villain. They've been the villain for decades. They've always been the villain. And then Israel's going to be condemned for what they've been doing. But then there's going to be another group where there's some white supremacist group in control, and then they condemn the people who's being oppressed. Like, do people not learn? Like, why aren't people reading history? Why aren't people learning from what happened in the past? Because that's why you keep repeating the same problem. I've been bringing up for years, well before October 7th, that Israel's committing genocide. And even people that I'm friends with, they're like, oh no, it's a both sides thing. It's complicated. It's not complicated at all. It's never been complicated. And now they understand because it's been so bad. But this has always been the case. If people were listening in the first place, then we wouldn't be in this situation. This could have been over the very next day if Joe Biden didn't decide to fund Israel in their genocide. But he decided to do that, of course. And then Kamala, she was too afraid to condemn Israel. She wouldn't pick a side in the genocide. Imagine not having the courage to pick a side. But she wouldn't pick a side because she didn't want to offend anybody, and she lost to Donald Trump. A lot of people stayed home instead of voting for that reason. I can't blame them for it because the genocide occurred under Joe Biden, a massive Zionist. So I think I mentioned that Israel, yeah, there's a death penalty. Yeah, I did mention that. There's a death penalty for Palestinians specifically, but not for Israelis. Like, what are we talking about here? And then Kamal's husband is a massive Zionist. I forget the guy's name. That idiot's not important. But that's why we're in the situation we're in today, because people are too cowardice to speak up about what's happening. And then Israel fooled a lot of people into thinking that it's a complicated conflict, that it's a conflict in the first place. They fooled a lot of people. It's not a conflict. They've been committing genocide for decades, for generations, and their entire project was to wipe out everyone in their land because they believed the land was promised to them thousands of years ago. Man, this really has me heated. And the funny thing is, something I forgot to mention, the October 7th incident. Do you know that the IDF knew about October 7th? You know that? They knew about it. It's widely reported on. They knew about October 7th, but they decided to do nothing about it because they wanted to use that as justification for genocide. And Joe Biden could have stopped it all, but he decided to keep giving money to Israel to commit a genocide. What needs to happen is all funds, at the very least, all funds from the U.S. needs to be cut off from Israel. And if they want, and they should be forced to learn to live with their neighbors with no defensive weapon from us. If you want to expand the entire Middle East, do it with your own damn money. Do that and see how far you get. They won't be able to, so you need to be forced to get along with your neighbors or face the consequences. Because there's no way in hell they should be able to completely genocide Gaza, flatten take the West Bank, then expand, start attacking Lebanon, then attack Iran, then they want to eventually expand to Israel. Not Israel, Egypt. So they can do all of these things. All of these things they can do. And they're somehow still the victim. How the fuck are they still the victim? The only bigger terrorist organization on earth other than Israel is the United States. They're the mini terrorists because we're funding them. They could not do any of this if we were not funding them. But we are. And I believe like over 90 of our Senate members take money from AIPAC. AIPAC, of course, is the lobby group, Israel's lobby group. If they're not taking it directly from AIPAC, they're taking it from some shell organization that AIPAC funds. And that's why everything's so broken. In 37 states in this country, you can boycott the United States, but you cannot boycott Israel. Tell me, how does that make any sense? They completely captured and controlled our government. And it's even more than normal because Donald Trump is a criminal pedophile, and Jeffrey Epstein worked for Mossad, and he was an Israeli spy. And now Israel has blackmail on Donald Trump, so he has to do whatever they say. No other president would have gone to war with Iran because everybody knew that was a bad idea except Donald Trump, because he's an idiot and then he's blackmailed and owned by Israel. And people within his regime was warning him not to go to war with Iran because it wouldn't work. It was an unwinnable war, because this isn't a war where you can win just with pure might and power. It's a war of control. Like Iran is fighting to survive. We're fighting for nothing. Like, we're fighting to give Israel more power. That's it. That's the only thing that'll be accomplished by winning this war in Iran. Giving Israel more power. So Iran's no longer there stopping their expansionist efforts, so they can expand to Lebanon. They can expand. They can take all of the West Bank. They can take Egypt. They want Iran to be a failed state in order for them to do that. That's what that is. But there's no benefit for the United States entering the war. And Benjamin Netanyahu has tried the same exact thing with other presidential candidates, with other presidents. And they said, go sit in the corner. You're not doing that shit. Sit your little ass down. Like, he tried with Obama. And Obama not only said that, not only are we not going to help you bomb Iran, you're not going to bomb Iran either. And then Benjamin Netanyahu was like, Yes, Papa. I'm sorry for angering you. And he didn't do shit. So it pisses me off when AOC has gotten better, but she says something like, oh, I want to supply defensive weapons to Israel. Would you supply defensive weapons to the KKK if to not just KKK, the Confederate Army? Would you supply defensive weapons? What type of shit is that? Would you supply defensive weapons to Germany during World War II? If they want to defend themselves, let them defend themselves with their own money, not our money. Israel should get absolutely nothing. They should be sanctioned. They need to face the exact same consequences that Germany faced post-World War II. Maybe even their military should be taken away. They should be disbanded as a state. They do not have the right to exist. The people have the right to exist. The state does not have the right to exist. There's not a state that actually has the right to exist. People have the right to exist. States rise and fall all the time. All the time throughout our history, states have risen and fallen. The United States only existed for 250 years. Whatever existed before, existed before. And one day the United States may fall. One day China may fall. And it may be called something else. Just because it's called something else doesn't mean that the people there still exist, but the actual state itself no longer exists. The USSR no longer exists. Like, what are we talking about here? So no, the ethno state of Israel should not exist. It's complete foolishness. It's complete garbage. They need to be disbanded as a state. Every single IDF member, every single government official needs to be punished. And you can't have a state where the people are this far gone being a state where 90% of the people, they view the brown people overseas as animals, as people as they should slaughter, as less than animals. A state like that can't exist. And if you don't agree, I don't give a F. I don't give a damn what you say. You're wrong. And history is going to say that you're wrong. And do I have anything else to say? No, I think I'm done. Peace.
This is the greater Israel according to the Israelis. It is include 100% of Palestine, 100% of Jordan, 100% of Lebanon, 100% of Kuwait, 75% of Syria, 45% of Iraq, 40% of Saudi Arabia, 35% of Egypt. This going to, and part of Turkey too.
Well, I've been stacking up. Nah, really that ain't accurate, cause I just spent my whole damn advance in the past couple months just to compensate for times we ain't have enough. Woo.